Hello friends. I just finished my 3-mile walk in a neighborhood park, and then I just wanna vent. I am so sad, completely heartbroken and devastated about the recent murder in Miami. I mean the homicide of one of our own, Christian Toby Obumseli. This is a tragedy to all of us in Nigerian community. I am beyond sad, completely devastated, and and I have no word, to describe my pain. So I cannot even imagine how, what is it for his both parents, and especially his 93-year-old grandmother. I cannot imagine the nightmare this family is totally experiencing right now. So, and it is not even sad enough that they lost a 27-year-old young man, and they have to deal with all the vile and viciousness in social media. And I am using my platform to ask people once again, please, can you completely respect the pain and the privacy of this family? Because everybody have the capability of putting themselves on the position of someone that is grieving, and to understand what this means, this timing, and what this time means for that particular family. So you can be nice and stop all that mudslinging and vicious attacks against the dead online. It's the lowest of the low to kick somebody who's already dead. It is lowest of the low. Okay, if you are one of these people engaging in this vicious social media campaign against this young man, could you please look in the mirror? If you are a Christian, could you please look at the Bible and think about God and ask yourself, okay, is that okay? Okay, and one more thing is that we are all mortal. Okay, death is a necessary end. We are all going to die one day. We just don't know what we are going to die of or when it is going to be, but it's certainly a necessary end. So for those of you out there celebrating a death of a young man who died at 27 at the prime of his youth, you are no better than Satan, devil himself. Okay, because I don't care what is your cause of action or what is your grievance against him. You don't even know him personally. Okay, please stop. Okay, so one more time, I'm going to use my platform and my medium to also make things clear. I have also seen disinformation on social media stating that he was a Nigerian. No, he isn't. He was an American. He was born in Dallas, Texas 27 years ago. He was an American as much as you trolls. Okay, he was born to a Nigerian parent, so he's a first generation American, born of Nigerian immigrants. So he was equally as an American as yourself. So stop it. But it doesn't matter where he was born or where he was coming from or whether he's an immigrant or not, as you are portraying it to be. The fact of the matter that is a human whose life has been cut short and who deserves justice. Okay, so and under any reason and under any circumstances, should anybody be celebrating the death of anybody? Are you a human being? Do you have heart? Do you have soul? I mean, come on. This guy is already murdered. He lost his life. Okay, and he's physically murdered, and you are out there on social media murdering him again for the second time, murdering his legacy. You don't even know him. What is your problems? I'm asking some of these black people, especially the black women that is engaging on this social media onslaught against the dead, what is your problem? Well, I heard and seen about some tweets that is being circulated. Are you kidding me? Tweets that was made in 2012. 10 years ago, freaking 10 years ago, when this young man was 17 years old in a high school. And then, because of the tweets, and you somehow justifying his mother, you should be thoroughly ashamed of yourself. You are a disgrace to humanity. I don't care what you are spinning the tweet to be. I don't care how you spin it. But the fact of the matter is that he speaks his opinion. That is not hate. It's his opinion. That is, despite the fact that he was a 17-year-old teenager, still on the process of development. And so, you guys, you holier than thou, Jesus Christ, are sitting in the throne of heaven, prosecuting and judging this young man. He's already standing before his maker. If there is judgment on heaven, I think he's facing one. So leave him alone. You can't be crucifying him on the earth. He's no longer here. You should be ashamed of yourself. Your behavior, this despicable behavior, is the reason why black women are labeled angry black women. And you are just justifying that label. What is your problem? This is so heartless. This is so inhuman. This is so soulless. I mean, did you think about his mother? Watching all of you saying, yes, her son deserves to die because according to you, he hates black women. No, he didn't. That was his opinion. And he's entitled to his opinion as much as you and I. He's entitled to have his preference in terms of dating or relationship. It is not crime. He didn't break any rule. And I also read a tweet that said, oh, he likes certain titties more than the other. So what? You also have these conversations in your private life about what you like and what you don't. What's this hypocrisy all about? The last I checked, blackness is not a cult movement. We're still living in the world, in a free world of choices. We have the right to make our own individual choices. We are entitled to our own individuality. Okay? So you cannot be out there in the social media, trying to dictate who anyone dates. Instead, I will recommend that you look in the mirror and look beyond yourself, look back on yourself and reflect, and then fix your attitude, your behavior that, that is, maybe be affecting you, that you're not getting any date. So if that's what you are angry about, work on yourself. But you are not in a position to impose or to dictate who anyone is going to date, or to be angry about it, or to celebrate their death just because of their preference. What kind of people are celebrating the death, this kind of unbelievable and this kind of unfortunate, sad tragedy? What kind of people are you? He didn't hate black women. His mother was a black woman. He has a grandmother that is a black woman. He has sisters, he has cousins, he has family friends, all of us. He was black. He was just stating on that tweet as a 17-year-old teenager his preference. You don't even know the context of his tweet, what happened to him, whether somebody broke his heart. You don't know his state of mind when he made that tweet. But let's kill the dead that is already dead. You are the lowest of the low, and you should be ashamed of yourself. You are a complete and total disgrace to humanity. If you are one of these people that is pushing this hate campaign, how come did you make this whole thing about yourself? What is your goal? What do you want to achieve by this? I'm asking you, what do you want to achieve? I guess to let his murderer get off scot-free and walk free on the street. That's what you're doing. And I'm going to ask you again, what if he didn't get justice? Is it going to make any of your miserable lives any better? People been hiding behind the keyboards and behind the screen, you know, to push this kind of vile and toxicity in the world, confusing people and brainwashing people. I don't care what you think, because you know what? Some of you out there criticizing this young man, some of you are dating people that is outside of black race. That's fact. Some of you are dating white men. Those of you that are dating Asians, there is nothing wrong with it because it's not a crime. There is no rule that says you shouldn't. So give Toby Obumseli a break. Let him rest in peace. Let him rest in peace. And again, this other double standard where you are saying, oh, okay, this is not our fight. This is not our fight. This is their fight. This is not our fight. That's right. But it's okay when Nigerian-born BLM activist Oluwatoyin was murdered in Florida, in Tallahassee, Florida, protesting George Floyd's death. But that's okay. But now, this happened to a child of an immigrant, an African immigrant. All of a sudden, he deserves his death. It's not our fight. He deserves, I don't care. He deserves his death. But then, when there is any police brutality, we are all there on the street protesting for justice. That is a double standard. And the world is watching you. The African continent is watching you. All you black Americans that is, destroying this man in death and saying everything that you're saying and trying to be in a court of public opinion to acquit Courtney Clanney. Look in the mirror. It has come to that point where black people are turning against themselves. A house that is divided cannot stand. A divided black community cannot stand. We have to hold up to fight our common enemy. That is the systemic racism. That is what we're going to be fighting. A black immigrant isn't your problem. We are all being oppressed by the same people. So stop it. How do you feel? How would you feel if this guy would have been your brother, your son, your nephew? Would you be talking about this same old bullshit that you are talking about? Don't you have empathy? Don't you have compassion? Don't you have soul? Don't you have heart? Do you have a blood flowing in you for you to engage in this kind of a brutal, social media campaign, re-traumatizing the family that is already traumatized? The world is watching you. The African continent is watching you. The Caribbean is watching you. South America, everywhere we have black people in the world, we are watching you. We are watching your double standard. We are seeing through who you are. Hello, there is nothing as racist as celebrating the death the gruesome murder, the cold-blooded murder of a young black man for daring to date a white woman. That is despicable. And anyone engaging in this social media campaign against the dead is less than a human. You are a savage, okay? Because this is not a race thing. It is a humanity thing. And let me tell you, there are all good, bad, and ugly across all races and across all ethnicities and tribes. Okay, so stop it. Stop using an unfortunate, sad, traumatic situations to push your racist agenda, because you know what? It's pathetic. It's very low. The lowest of the low is kicking the dead. Okay, and